and begin. So this is this Minecraft server. These are the 4 directions. This is where the player is to spawn. I'll explain things in order of most recently massively changed, so that will start behind me with that. So this is what will be in completion the help area location where you can go and figure out more information on each individual game. This is where the ranks quotation marks would be. There we used this, so the original help center was this room. Those pillars look a little less beautiful than I recall. I might have to change those colors. The birch wood really just doesn't go with the aesthetic, I guess. Anyways, sidetracked. But yeah, so I just finished constructing this chamber recently. But the entire rework, these were the original help areas. This is just like kind of the idea of what was being done, right? So you'd have whatever the game was, the help, stuff like that. But I wanted to do it a little differently, so I wanted to keep the original help. I wanted to expand the original help to make it more open. So this was much tighter closed, but now it's completely open. Each of these walls would have some of this stuff. Anyways, we're gonna go with this area next. This is the beta zone. Pretty much the concept idea is games that are not finished, not complete. They'll be built and they would be accessible from here, but also the idea is you would be able to interact, and then this would be the complete chamber. This is very old, so it's not up to date. So third item is Minified. Pretty much it's the adventure Minecraft element of the server. Currently there's no portal. I can teleport manually, and I will probably get to that at some point. Well, maybe I'll do it right now, but I am in the concept of trying to decide how I want this to work, in the sense of how this lobby works, because I've got these 2 chambers, right? One going off there and one going off there, and I'm thinking maybe I put teleporters in both of those, then have a teleporter up here on top of the mountains, and pretty much they would be possibly different locations in Minified. However, that doesn't necessarily work because of Minified having its own central hub, which I will teleport. Alright, welcome to Minified location. This is stuff I built. It's old. A lot of it details are obscured, and it's been a while since I've been here or worked on any of this. Command blocks are down there. I'm pretty sure none of them work properly. But this is just the main hub. At least in concept. I've got a lot going on here that I wish to expand upon. Pretty much these are the Minified insignias for the main your faction, I guess would be. Is that correct? Something like that. All these blocks are pretty much NPCs. That's the idea. I was using blocks that I don't tend to use, so none of the sandstone blocks are, but I think all the sandstone are supposed to be like guards and whatnot. All these signs are blank, so I have no idea if that's an accident or if that's how it's supposed to be. Well, that's unfortunate, but anyways. So the entire idea, like I said, is an RPG But yeah, you can look. There's a lot of stuff that just... the signs do have stuff. So... yeah, well, that's a little bit different. See, these two are a little bit different than... like, these are normal sandstones. Or smooth sandstone. Right? No. What are those? Cut sandstone, sorry. I know my Minecraft blocks. Anyways. But yeah, they're scattered around. There's, like I said, these would be like guards. We have more guards down here. This would be, in essence, the class selection chamber of sorts. I'm very creative. It says commence your story. A lot of this is not as... yeah, so just a little sneak peek at the classes, and these chests are supposed to be all the classes in design, in concept, because there is so much not working in this mode. That's banner testing, creating banners to use for all the different factions and creatures and stuff. Let's see what else. This is just village, a part of the aesthetic. I can expand this quite a bit. I have not got around to expanding this quite a bit. Trying to think if there is an actual city location. I think there's a city location in that direction, and you're supposed to be able to teleport to it somehow. Alright, so we found Minified's something. I was wondering if this was complete. It is not, by the looks of it. It's a massive castle. This would be one of the first locations to start from. Sort of running under the same principles as before. I forget where I was going to... I don't know if I was going to have it start on the boat or how we were going to do this. There's a lot of block editing that needs to be done in this entire area. The ship needs... I was in the process of reworking the ship when this was being entirely built. I really didn't want to continue working on this just simply because so much of Minified functionality was not working. Those chests are to give you an idea of just how old this server is. Or how old this build is, not the server build. Because this build, I was manually digging out because it was faster, because it was before the fill commands. Even though you can clearly tell there's I had to use fill, right? There's no way I could have done it without fill. But all of these chests full of useless tools. So, massive gate, itty bitty door. It sounds familiar. I don't know what it's from. Same principle as before. NPCs would be throughout this. So this would be like a castle city, in essence. This is semi-disappointing to come back to this and be like, oh wow, I really did not make any progress. And it's just looking at it, there's a lot that needs to be reworked. But this would be like your tavern style. What else do we got here? Oh, another chest. Let's see what's in this one. A whole bunch of random blocks that I was probably using for building this. Yeah. Oh, there's a... How do I get back there? Aha! Oh, I feel stupid all of a sudden. There's the thing right there. Oh, okay. Using my logic. Aha! Wasn't that actually that hard? Spoilers. Spoilers. Secret passages. Stuff. So would this be equal to... So this would be the back door entrance to the... Or the underground entrance to the tavern. I really like my secret entrances. Anyways. So this brings... I think the entire build... wow. I can just imagine this place full of NPCs. But it's not. I do believe this was the idea for an AFK pool of some sort, but it's obviously not complete. There's actual animals living in this area, which is a surprise. A double layered garden, which is pretty impressive, actually, because I don't think any of my concepts of building actually have something that unique. I think that's the end of the minified stuff. Well, not quite, because there was the ship. Unimportant. I will look over here. This would be a chest. There's supposed to be a dungeon. So this would be like a dungeon. And you would go down here. And then at some point between the beginning of the stairs and the end of the stairs, you would trigger the dungeon as a dungeon. There's nothing built down here, but the entire idea was you would be playing the dungeon. It would have blocks and stuff put together. Blocks and stuff, yes. It would have structures, structure block used to piece together a location that you can play. So now we're going to go in this direction. This would be all the mini games that I've accumulated in my brain for this server design idea. Just looking at stuff, it's like, I need to rebuild that. It looks unpleasant. My moon, crescent moon in the sky is a little odd, we'll say the least. So how this would be, right, like I said, spawn right there. So each of these have, I'm using old-fashioned water portals here. It's water, but I have a command block triggering and sending the people to wherever they need to go. Each of these should work. I'm trying to think. That all of these have lobbies as far as I remember. Whether the command blocks have been updated properly, I have no idea. So as an example, this game, not completely finished on figuring out, but this is, yep, command blocks work. So this would be, its original mode was called Mobor, however, massive rework under process, possibly because I want the name to be something else because it doesn't actually fit. The concept is pretty simple. You have players play as what in essence is mobs. Let's see if this teleports me. That teleported me here. That's not a surprise that it worked. Right? Is it a surprise? Not a surprise. What's this? I think that's like the lobby for when you die all the way, sort of. So the game mechanically works, and in concept completely works. However, slight problem with mobs not working. Let's see. There's not a single one operating currently. They're all broken. Mine's just zombies. Minecraft zombies. Nothing too special. Teleports right there. Decorations per floor here. That red looks really heavy and with the current visuals that I have. But the bricks, my monitor is not liking the bricks at all, one bit, for some reason. It's blowing out, in essence. King's Kingdom, that's what this is. This is not another RPG. This is more PvP based, but this is one of the part of the reasons why Mob War didn't work as well. Concept was you would have a king and a king, and there's more than just two factions, and then there's a giant global map or massive map, and the players could join one of the teams. Like for this example, it would be purple and gold, or whatever block that is, and they would be in pretty much playing for locations, and then the idea was you play for a location, then you would play for eventually to the siege, the castle, in essence. And so you would have a bunch of matches going on at the same time, but they would all be in the same map. So you could literally like run at full sprint to go from your castle to the opposing castle of any of the other factions. But it would take a little bit of time, and wouldn't be practical because you wouldn't have any of the bonuses or anything, because you would be in a non-siege zone or something like that. That's general concept. This little thing is just a small game mode of create. Idea was just a build type thing so that we could use, what are they called? The structure blocks that I talked about earlier. So we would have a location where we could just build stuff, and then they would be saved into structure blocks, and then we could erase it, rebuild something new. That way the build is still there, and we could use another single player world or something to just test or double check what structure blocks or structures were what. But that way we weren't just continuously generating in the world. That's the idea, at least. Did that work? Nope. Okay, so this is Platinum lobby. It's actually a lot worse than I thought. In the sense of Baron. I haven't got around to redecorating or decorating that. VIP world. Sorry. VIP hub offset. Got a few different things here. Again, a lot of reworking needs to be done. There is several things in here, though, that I don't remember being here, but they are. That's pretty cool. It's kind of funny, just going through and you're like, oh, wow. That's cool. Hunger Games lobby here. Or, I keep saying lobby, that's not correct. Teleporter. The bridge. Spleef Bridge. This would be their capture the flag, capture the point, team game modes. And let me show you something really cool. Bunk. I have the flag. That's at least the concept. Simply put. This is hide and seek, but with I have it as the Cylons. No AFK games. This needs to be reworked because there is an actual build somewhere else. So let's see here. All right. I just went through all of this. I did do that first. I shouldn't have. I should have just went through everything and then gone one by one. All right. So this is the starting location from Mine Z, and Mine Z is a lot different because there's not going to be a lot. It's not going to be as extravagant in the sense of hub, but each location that is safe would be on this board. You would be able to teleport to it, just like we using all these signs. You have these chests that you would be able to access relevant to who or what rank you were. I don't think this is going to change my... Oops. Change my... Oh, it did. Okay. Oops. Okay, I'm going to just fly over that. Broken bridge here. Destroyed in what's the term? Degraded type builds. So this is King's Kingdom. Wow, you can see the villager from... Wow. Oh, that... I haven't looked at Magma with the new update, and I gotta say, this bridge looks awesome with the new light level Magma. Underwater, a little less... it's okay, but the bridge, talk about an RGB bridge right there. It's mainly red, but so this would be one kingdom. Now, obviously, you see that these are not the actual castles. These are the player lobbies, right? So let's say you join. I think this is green. Could be wrong, but let's say you join green. So you'd be in this castle. You would have different things to interact with and whatnot, and then there would be a map. I do not remember where that is. I think it's on one of those walls where it would be, and you would have all the interact signs, so you would be able to travel to what sectors or locations, whatnot. And then a clone building of this, everything would look the exact same, everything would be the same of it. The only difference would be it would be full of actual mobs, and it would run the same, like I said, internal structure, exterior structure, but then it would be a part of the map, the actual map, where everything would be connected, and you would see the other castles that would be for the three other factions. I don't recall anything else. So this is the Hunger Games location. This is actually the lobby. Now, the reason I built it so close to that one is because Hunger Games was interesting. When I was constructing it, I was having a lot of design going through, so it was pretty much being tested here. However, I ended up just going with it for the first location. Here it is. This it was just this pretty much a test, but I decided to keep this as the actual hub, and so it isn't just the testing anymore. It's actually a part of the whole thing. Find command blocks, turn them off. They're not supposed to be running out here. Huh? Well, that's interesting. I didn't realize this. Things to buy with in-game currency. You want to see how much I have right there. That 328,600. I accumulated most of that within 30 seconds because of a command block error. It just kept giving me money because it wasn't teleporting me. It was just giving me money. But yeah, I do believe this is supposed to be the command block. No, that's not. It's another money thing. Where is the command block supposed to be to get us out of here? It's got to be. Oh, here it is. Oh, it doesn't work. What a surprise. But not to worry. We're in flying distance. So this would be the spleef area. For those that don't know spleef you play and the blocks on a floor, you mine the blocks obviously disappear because of the mine, and the goal is to be the last one standing on top. There's no way to hit each other, so it runs by the same, so friendly fire is off. This is a little bit different. Another project that was in process but stopped. It looks cool. This is the VIP spleef, and instead of it being the traditional wool blocks, the idea was that VIP spleef would be made out of harder blocks, and there would be actual different like things going on. Now, yes, you had to have VIP coins to play this, or VIP membership, one of the two. But don't worry, getting VIP on this server is not that hard. You just ask and I'll be like, oh yeah, sure, you can have it. The normal spleef is over here. I could probably redesign a lot of this because the lava is excessive. But these are each a layer, and I made a whole bunch of layers here, so they would be just copy and pasted from location into the spleef arena, and then the spleef arena would be played. I made this beautiful mess of blocks. I honestly do not recall how I made the top layer originally. I don't remember. But as you can tell from the edge, it's 3 layers, but it's all the same each layer. Now I could probably like grab the coordinates off the second and third layer and then just rotate them 90 degrees and it might work, but I can't say that for certain. So this is the CTF hub. Now I can say this is a hub. The other ones are bridges. These are hubs. This would be one side. What does the sign say here? Second flag. 2 flag CTF. There you go. 1 flag CTF. This way. Alright, here we go. Now, you will notice something very awesome. There's 2 completely functioning signs here. That one and that one. I better not break them, because if I do, I'm gonna be in a problem. Because I don't know where the clones are. These are like little antidote, like that was an entire system in the game, trackers. I actually had 1 or 2 working in this because I had to. Player eliminations and another thing. Anyways, I'm going to actually show you the lava walk because that one is satisfying. Let's push this. What are we going? Alright, so why are there particle effects down there? I don't believe those particle effects are supposed to be there. Huh. So they've just waited for me to render in. That might have been from the flag, because this game works that way. So originally, I did actually have people to test this with. Originally, we actually had manual team joins. Got rid of that. The system worked a lot simpler by just players would go in here and then a random selectors and all that. It completely works too. I don't remember any of the commands to get this started with just one player, and I don't remember if it will automatically put me on a team or if I had to join a team with one player. But this all works. Completely functional. This is game mode spectator again. What? That was a little strange. But yeah, so this is where the flag is. I could rotate that. That would be not a bad idea. The entire map was built primarily by me. However, I did actually have help with some of the what minerals and materials were where. This map is crazy difficult to play on. We found out two things very quickly with playing this. First of all, there is no archers with flame. There's no rank with flame. The ranks are pretty simple. But you can shoot through some of these pillars of lava at certain angles, and you see how these are bridges, right? So when players were coming down from, like, say, they had the flag here and they got to take it that way, or vice versa, they got to go that way. A player would be on the other end of this bridge shooting arrows through the flame, and the flame burn effect on the version of Minecraft we were playing, just constant burning, and you couldn't see your screen because the flames would cover your UI, your HUD, right? So we found that out. The second thing we found out was the flag capture system was very interesting because we changed it a little bit, or I changed it afterwards. But the idea was you capture the flag, you pick it up, and then you would have the glowing effect so that everyone knew you had the flag and everyone saw you. It was overpowered because you couldn't be anywhere without being seen. And taking, like they said, the archers literally could have, like, hidden anywhere and just rainbowed them off of just one bow. You're like running along the bridge and just one arrow, bing, gunk into the lava. You're done. However, this is one of those masterpieces where I'm very pleased with. So this is the no AFK hub, and this is the literal definition of, like, a location with a bunch of random stuff. The entire idea behind no AFK was games that you could play within 10 minutes to 5 minutes. So, like the Cylon Hider or Robot Tag, whatever, those type of games, they're quick matches, not designed to go over 30 minutes, 40 minutes. They're not committed like CTF or some of the other games in here. They're designed to be like, you go in and you're done. And the idea is if you went AFK, the match would be over and you would be already back in lobby. So that it wouldn't have anything going on. But I built this structure. I am pleased with how this structure turned out. It took a long time to get all the nooks and crannies to work. As you can see, I'm using the three materials here: emeralds, a light and dark blues, and redstone blocks to behave as boundaries. That way, as I could design it and as I was building, and also be able to change some of the designs without the water pouring in from, like, there and stuff. But like I said, that's the silent stuff. Teleport once again. So I think that covers all of the physical builds for the most part. There's probably one or two. There's the beta zone over here, way over here. That structure technically counts as just a build, not a part of any game mode specifically. But we have this, and This is quite an interesting build system here. You'll notice it's very bland, and that's intentional. There's not supposed to be a lot of decor. Anyways. So this is a part of a unique team versus team mode that was going to have a whole bunch of unique stuff going on. You'll notice that there's like, what is this called? Obsidian. And there's also bedrock and such. So once the location was designed, it would be saved in a structure block system. And players would actually have TNT, and they would blow this up, and then when the match was over, the structure blocks would re-trigger, and the entire build would be rebuilt. That was quite literally the design behind this. Obsidian was supposed to stay, and and some other materials. But yeah, this is one of the beta zones, and one of the fun things I did is, like, for example, TNT creepers, because I didn't want it just to be like literally just TNT and then you blow the whole place up. There's a principle behind the game mode. It's not just a free for all. However, the entire design of it was going to be centered around TNT. In the game was TNT Incursion. I'm going to go ahead and finish off the whole video with this location. You might be looking at this and saying, "Oh, that's a decent amount of command blocks right there." Hold on to your seat. These are just my signs. You know all those signs that teleport? So, lava, every single sign you see in the entire, all the clickable signs, I make them here. And you might be wondering, why in the world do I not just make the sign, delete it, and then make a new sign? It's really quite simple, actually. The sign creation system may have changed a little bit, but none of these signs are actually completely how I want the signs to function always. Some of these signs were just temp signs. So it's a lot easier to keep the original signs and the original commands that make the signs. You got all of this, and it works, as far as I can tell. I think. It might not. I don't want to mess with it and accidentally break something, so no touchy. So you know how the CTF, I didn't show the ranks, but these are actually like rank signs, and they work, and they actually fully equip the player with their tool set. So all the equipment, all the armor, you just click a sign and boom, it's done. There's no teleporting until after the sign's complete. At least that's the idea. But like I said, not everything has worked the way I want it to. And some signs, like, say, the cost, that's a generalized sign that gives tags. So, like, you need a tag for any of the classes. You need a tag for any of the ranks. Those signs were the necessary signs. But now, there's no few command blocks. Oh, there's a few more. A few more. A few more. That's quite a bit. Oh! Let me just go back up. So these are all command blocks that would be in the main hub. Now, the reason that there's these black blocks is currently offline. Are they charcoal or something? I have them off so that I'm not constantly getting ticks taken away because there's a bunch of command blocks running needlessly. And also, I don't need updates on certain things constantly running. But all these tags, in essence, or not tags, sorry, all of these command blocks and more to come are all just the main hub. Teleport, food, health, saturation, speed, rank checks. Like, these are VIP rank checks. This is platinum rank check. And there's more. There's going to be more. Going down, this is a completely difficult thing to explain, and it might not even work anymore. I would have to double check and fix stuff. But because this is all playing in a single world, and the only difference is physical X, Y, and Z on the world, players that disconnect and reconnect will be still at where they were, not back to original server or anything like that. So I had to design a check system because I couldn't just check if a person went offline. I had to be checking every single a specific what game mode, what team they were on. That's what these are for. So if a player, let's say, left in the middle of CTF or any of those things and came back, they couldn't have all their equipment. They couldn't have the faction tag. They couldn't have the team, all that kind of stuff. And then they would get sent. And then there was other things like Mine Z. Like if you left outside of a safe zone, you come back, it might not remove you from your position. I don't remember. But those are examples. So not all the command blocks. I mean, there's a lot here, but let's see. Like this one, left server spawn. So this is a generic. So if you have the no PvP team tag, this would be working on that. This one, Mine Z. So like I said, there's the Mine Z one, and there's more. The brick circuit making. I hope it's not blurry for everyone that's watching. Okay. So this. Oops. So this is a command block chain for just player checks. So whenever a player eliminates another player, this command block chain is triggered. It's a lot more complicated than I remember. So this is a specific game. The Mob Clash, Mob War. And this is just one map. So this isn't classes or anything like that. That's just from beginning to end map trigger to make it work. And these are a bunch of secondaries. This would be Mine Z. So these command blocks are all the different rule sets for zombie spawns. These are some of the chest rule sets for chest spawns. I have no idea what that is. And the one that's actually fully functional, right? CTF right here. So I think these are all check tags for hub and spawns. But so if you look here, these are all teleports. Never mind. Ignore those. So these are two different games, right? You have the farm block map on this side, and then you have lava walk on this side. Now it looks a lot prettier on here, but pretty much all these command blocks should work. Yep. Yeah. So this, right, let's see right here. So game ending and restarting checks and then triggers all the way through. Let's see. So even though it's one flag CTF, you have to have both teams separate because of the effects tags. Because when a blue player has it, if they lose it, it's going to be different. Or if they put the flag in points, it means something different than if the red team does it. So this, okay, so this that's why that exists. But CTF Lava is a player tag. This would be the team tag, and the score is 0. That's not saying that the match team, like blue or red, has 0. It's saying the actual object flag is set to 0. So that way is when the flag is triggered as 0, Oh, and there's... Huh. It says there's money given to somebody. But let's see here. Yeah, so if the score CTF match is 0, run the following command, which sets the coordinates of that flag you saw. The one that was not 45 degrees, it was 90 degree off. It felt weird. Probably. It did to me. And then once the flag is placed, it then changes. So this happens in instantaneous. The player dies, it goes to 0. The player, or the flag's now at 0, then it spawns a new one. And all these chains are pretty much checked. So it's set block to air. So this command doesn't work, so that would throw a wrench in the game mode. This is all pretty cool stuff, I think. If I'm not mistaken, these are all classes here. So these all command blocks trigger the equipment and stuff. And as you go down, so each of these layers would be another game. I mean, there's a lot less than I thought there was, but there's also more. So, but I enjoyed doing that just now. I hope everyone else did.